What's up, guys? Welcome to All Nerds Welcome. For once, and very, very rarely, I actually have a topic of my own that I'd like to bring to light.
Oh, and I'm Alex. See what happens when an unprofessional person
Of course,
starts
here's
a
Alex.
video?
Here's Alex.
God. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead, Brie.
There's a channel that I've been watching that has gotten on the bad side of me, which usually I'm just kind of tolerant. I just kind of keep to myself.
He is a robot, so most things are supposed to be zeros and ones. But so for something to come out, it's like if a computer just like a grain of rice got in the fan with this one.
It's as if I had
And
an
he's
error.
been yelling at me
Error.
nonstop to watch this person's clips and videos.
Yeah, her channel is Mecha Random 42. Now,
Boom, picture. I don't want to link it. I'm going to say it because I speak more properly and clearer. Mecha Random 42. Is she a Jackie Robinson fan? I don't know what the 42 is about. Is she 42? Possibly. I don't know what people's ages anymore. I think that's how old the quartering is, though. And the only reason I'm bringing up the quartering is why, Greg?
because she's very, very, very similar to the quartering, if not worse.
She's
I
basically
think
like...
worse.
If the quartering, I'm thinking about the following, like the show, the Kevin Bacon show with like the cult and
I actually
everything.
like that show.
It was a good show. I mean,
Yes.
come on, it had Iceman in it. And to me, the following, I think the what's his face, the cult leader is Sargon of Akkad, because he's a fucking loser. Then you have what's his face, it's mostly British, because ironically we're still our angry American freaking capitalist favorite, Trump sucking guys that make all these YouTube channels. They all follow British people for some fucking reason. They had
this crazy conspiracy
Count
that
Dankula.
They had this crazy conspiracy that Hollywood's being taken over by Great Britain for some reason. That's what I honestly
But they're not helping it either. If they really believe that British people shouldn't be taking our jobs, they should stop following the followings of British people like Count Dankula and Sargon of Akkad. They're both. I'm pretty sure Sargon is British. If he's still a jerk off, he's one of those dudes that sits down and like debates people. He'll put the mic up and be like, "No, you're wrong." And here's no evidence to prove you're wrong. Oh, you're talking about feminism? I'm going to switch the topic because I'm smarter than you. One of those fucking losers that can't argue for shit. One of those guys. Because it's like, he's just such a loser. And then so you go Sargon, Count Dankula, quartering, and then like 10, 15 steps down, you got the Mecha Random. All these people that are basically just like a cult of just hating Hollywood and making all these videos and then claiming it's about like art. But it's and like the community and the fan base, and then when the movie comes out, almost like a year later, they're still bad mouthing the actors that said something almost a year ago, which then says, is it still about the fans, or is it just because you don't like her? And if it's just because if a movie comes out and there's some shit being talked about it, and because then guess what we're gonna be talking about? Captain Marvel. This is what I'm insinuating. There are still people bitching about Captain Marvel as if there's nothing else to bitch about. But more importantly, they're still just trying to, I'm going to use parentheses. The camera's cut me off. They're trying to dunk on Brie Larson, even though she's still a nice person doing more than most of these fucking assholes do. And is just trying to live her life.
She's actually trying to make the world a better place. From what it seems.
Even if she's lying about it, which I know that's what you're thinking. If she comes out and says stuff or even donates money to certain causes and donates more because she lives well above our means, then that's still a good thing. She can still be full of shit. I think that when it comes to celebrities and stuff like that, like Hollywood, yes, it's very vain. Yes, it's all a lot of fake. Yes, it's all about appearances, just like these specific YouTubers I just talking about. They're basically all cut from the same cloth. They're all showmen in their own respect, except Brie Larson will probably end up doing more and better things than all of these losers will. This is the name of the video that Greg made me fucking watch. And remember, I'm gonna be cranky most of this video because Greg made me watch this, and I'm very upset that I watched this. Also, this is not a reaction video. We're not gonna play the clips. I'm gonna play a clip and then I'm gonna talk about it, because basically the biggest thing that Mecha does that the quartering doesn't do, or actually the biggest thing that Mecha doesn't do and the quartering stays away from it. She decides to make her own editing video clips of people's lines and famous things, put them out of context. Brie Larson was speaking at an event called the Variety's Power of Women Luncheon. Ugh, women. Oh, sorry, if we're talking about Mecha, so she says whammon because these are all PewDiePie sycophants that think that if they say things that PewDiePie says, This is what she thinks her fan base. I'm gonna subscribe because my boy PewDiePie says whammon. When in reality, I don't know why they're subscribing, but it's not because you use PewDiePie words. Same goes to you, Quartering. You guys say whammon all the time. I'm not the biggest supporter of PewDiePie. I do think that a lot of the stuff that happens with him, it's up to your opinion with him. But I do know one thing, that he said whammon in a video, and now a bunch of people that are basically like the little creatures that hang on the fins of sharks, aka Mecha, Quartering, all now have started using whammon because, they think that's they're like, it's psychology, dude. If we say stuff that Pewdie says, maybe they'll look and they won't see some redheaded idiot. Instead, they're going to think PewDiePie's there. It's not going to work, Mecha. They're going to know you're stupid.
It seems like they take something that's trendy and popular and try to make it so that they get
It's not even trendy and popular. He said it he says whammon like every month, once a month.
But to them,
they say it in like every video. It's so fucking.
But to them, it seems like something that's popular.
All right.
Will get them clicks.
So the title of the video is, I X'd out the video and I don't feel like looking it up, but it's called Captain Person, and then in my notes it says Captain Person, whatever bullshit. So look up Captain Person under her thing. I don't really want to. Okay, so the video clip starts with her at this speech, like I was saying, and I went on to the stupid tangent. She was at a variety luncheon, and she was speaking about one of her roles coming up in a movie coming out in December at time of filming. A movie that looks really good, Just Mercy. It's got Michael B. Jordan in it. It's got Tim Blake Nelson, a name that if you don't know, then you're not a real fan of Holes. Because he was Mom in Holes. And yeah, that's a deep cut reference, because I watched Holes like a few weeks ago.
Can't forget Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, of course. It's gonna be a great movie. Mm-hmm. And she was there to talk not only about women stuff, but she was there to talk about a bunch of shit that went wrong. Here's the clip of the stupid shit. Now, mind you, we didn't edit any of this. We just did what every responsible YouTuber does. We OBS and recorded it, and we put it just somewhere in front of us. Like I said, we're not reacting. I'm just going to show you this stupid bit, and then we're going to break it down.
Let's go and take a look and see what's in the news today. What's going on? Comicbook.com's a good place to any... Oh, wow, that's a lot of Brie Larson and Captain Marvel and... Oh, yeah, all right, let's... well, fine, one of them at random here. Let's see which one... Oh. I see what we're doing here. So, stop the music.
Wow. I hope you came back and are not dumber now. The first thing she goes into this video, she started off, she was complaining because everyone talks about Brie Larson. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's break this down. What an algorithm, like the YouTube algorithm. Yes, it sucks. From what we've learned now from this algorithm, can it discern bad and good? No, it cannot discern bad and good. So places that talk about Brie Larson nonstop, they see, when they look online, they see nothing but Brie Larson being spoken about. They see Mecha's videos, who I'm pretty sure the ratio's got to be every 1 in 3 video that comes out with her is a fucking Captain Marvel video. Sorry, a Brie Larson video. And not only, and people see that. Now, most people that work in marketing are unaware of how the internet works nowadays, because a lot of them are dumb. And the people that do know things about marketing don't get hired. Obviously, Fallout first. So basically what ends up happening is people see that her name is popping up everywhere. They're assuming they shouldn't really be assuming it, but they're assuming people are happy and praising her. So you're already fucking yourself, Mecha, because you're acting like you're so fed up with talking about Brie, but you're in a revenue machine right now of just making money off Brie Larson videos because they're the only ones that get you views. And you're talking shit that everyone's talking about her, but if you keep making these videos, you're riding that algorithm anyway, because when you look up, if you look up videos of Brie Larson, Quartering, I think Legacy Killer HD, he gave up on it.
Yeah, he gave up
because he's at least a little bit more responsible than these idiots. He wants to make money a little bit more integrity-wise. Integrity. And so you're causing your own problem, first off. Now, for the next clip is where we're going to start, where he's going to be talking. She does that weird compilation with George Carlin, and it's really dumb.
Every interaction is a chance to bring hope. Okay, St. Carlin, I think we need you.
When I was prepping for the film, I asked Eva how she keeps going in the face of so much working against her, and she said, "If all I can do is bring a little hope to someone, that's enough."
Fuck hope. Fuck hope.
Hey, welcome back. And now you're probably even dumber than before. So that's -2 IQ that you're at. Now here's what pisses me off about these clips. Now, she wants to insult Brie Larson, correct?
Sure.
Give us a like down below if you know that she wants to insult Brie Larson. Problem is, so we tweeted something that she's never done in her life, probably. We did some research and we looked at some context in some of these clips. Now, the first context we're going to be talking about is the hope thing. So she says hope, and then Becca zooms in on it and then plays the one word hope over and over and over again. So to provide more context for that hope, which is what really pisses me off, because if she knew what she was taking these clips from, well, she's probably not even taking it or doing any examples. She's probably looking at other YouTubers' videos talking shit about Brie, recording those videos, not giving them credit as always. And I'll always give credit. We got all our videos from you, Mecca. And what ends up happening is you end up just finding clips of people taking every little thing out of context. So when the word hope, when we looked up the entirety of the quote, it was about how for the movie Just Mercy, Brie Larson actually spoke to the character that she's playing in the movie named Ava Ainsley, who is what was it? She was a, what the fuck is that word? Advocate. So she was an advocate because of the crowding. The legitimate real problem in this country, in America, is just how many people are just, jails are just so full. It is a legitimate problem and it's a serious thing that shouldn't really be mocked. You can choose not to believe in it if you want to just hide from facts. If you're like a flat earther or whatever, then you just want to hide from facts. You can believe in that all you want, but it is a legitimate problem. So for you to take that quote out of context just to get some clicks to hate on Brie Larson, it's just A, lazy, B, why would you take it from this? Do a reaction video of Captain Marvel, the movie. This is an actual legitimate event that's trying to do something good for the world. The Variety Power of Women Luncheon, right? Variety Power of Women Luncheon. These are just a group of women that are trying to do the right things. And just so you know too, gang, it's not just a bunch of like Hollywood liberals and feminists getting together to talk about other women issues. They actually spoke about like over incarceration, problems with the police brutality.
They talked about also racism in the country.
All
the
real things.
Economic inequality.
Yeah, they didn't just get all together. All just try to quote unquote, oh, we need to fix women problems. It's just no. They didn't. Women like men have the ability to fix all these problems. So that's what this is about. Now, so the full quote was and I'm going to read this little paragraph real quick. It's on the screen, whatever, just, if you're driving or whatever. When I was prepping for the film, I asked Ava how she keeps going in the face of so much working against her. And she said, "If all I do is bring a little hope to someone, that's enough. No one needs to feel alone." Then Brie says, "Well, fuck."
That's a pretty powerful statement. Let me tell you.
Well, fuck.
I had the same
That
reaction.
is.
That's
Because in the end of the day, that's all really a lot of these people can do. Me and Greg, we can't do as much for the world as DiCaprio. But if we could at least go day to day and just be nice to people, that's not a bad thing to do. She went on, Brie Larson. I've been chewing that sentiment for a year now, and here's what I've begun to practice with that. Every interaction is a chance to bring hope, which is like I just said. So you're using two beautiful quotes from two people that are nice to try to trash on a person because she said something about men almost a year ago. You're not making fun of Brie Larson. You're not making fun of Captain Marvel. You're not making fun of Marvel at this point. Whenever these people at this point make shit and memes about Captain Marvel, you just straight up hate this woman. And if you are so obsessed with that, I hate to compare Mecca to like what's his face? Catcher in the Rye, the one that wanted to shoot the president.
oh,
But like the Catcher in the Rye brainwashed him. Brie Larson, please, if you ever see this, watch out for this one. Now, again, all guesses, nothing factual, just making assumptions. Also, the biggest thing that she does that really makes me angry is using George Carlin out of context. Like every person that thinks, because a lot of people don't do research. I think the most research I have to say for my generation of people that know about George Carlin is from that 70s show. On that 70s show, because it took place in the 70s, was when George Carlin came out with his album, The 7 Things You Can't Say on Television. There wasn't a whole episode about it in a very, very okay season. I think it was season 7. And people think that because George Carlin came out with an album where he just says bad words, that somehow he's some kind of edgelord. When he is anything but. He's not the first edgelord. He's not some kind of like, he's not like, you can't compare him to anybody. George Carlin is his own person. Like, he is the man. And he always believed in context. He never believed in punching down. Everything that she does when she puts, and anybody else that uses George Carlin to talk shit about other people, that takes him out of context, takes another clip out of context, you're punching down, but you're also making George Carlin roll around in his grave. I'm sure he's already rolling around in his grave because of everything that's going on with America, but at his beliefs and his the way he did it, it's just, you just spit in his face and you're just trying to get cheap clicks. It's fucking annoying. Come up with some content. You do this bit where you put on music and you hold some kind of whip. Gives a fuck. Who are you? Come up with it. We're not going to make a bit until if we ever get to a certain amount of followers. What the fuck's that? Whatever.
But even that bit, it's like saying I'm right and you're wrong. There is no
and you're
if and or buts about it, and it's
which you're wrong about a lot of things, and you're using all these clips out of context. It's much easier to put things out of context. Like, I could make a quartering or a mecha video in 10 minutes, throw that bitch up on Adobe, export it, and put it out. I could do that 3 times a day if I wanted to, but I like to put quality into these fucking videos, at least a little bit. But it's just like, we try to do it with substance, and this is what it takes. And I mean, I'm mostly talking right here to Mecca. You suck. You're lazy. And you think that wearing a low-cut shirt and fucking an out-of-focus video and terrible audio is going to get you viewers. It's not really going to do that. I mean, I tried it. Doesn't work. Now, the quote when George Carlin says, "fuck hope," again, I'm going to do something. We're going to add some context to it. In the joke segment, he proposes that maybe it's not the politicians that suck, it's the public who suck, and then become politicians and continue to suck. By this logic, we can say that her videos suck, because we all suck, mostly her fan base. So she wants to use that clip correctly. You know, she cuts it between whatever Brie Larson's saying, so both of these contexts don't really make sense for her to be putting them together, because context matters. I mean, context matters to people like Mecca and the Quartering when it comes to quote-unquote humor, but not when it comes to making videos that are basically almost like trying to red pill people into hating someone who made a movie, express one opinion almost a year ago. I mean, if anything, you're teaching people how, I mean, you're not doing much for women if you won't drop a fucking subject. You mean, you're just kind of like perpetuating the stereotype that women fucking hold grudges or whatever. You're not doing yourself any favors, and it's so stupid. So yeah, Carlin's just bringing up a good point, and you're shitting on that point because you're taking one line out and just to talk shit about Brie. And it's just so fucking annoying. It's so dumb. And then in the next clip, Brie says something else, and then she uses another George Carlin quote, which I'm going to add more context to, and it's going to roll now.
This kind of hope is an antidote to loneliness. This kind of hope is an elixir to stagnation.
Hey, which one of you cute little cupcakes wants to come home and cook me a nice meal and give me a blowjob? Blowjob!
Wow, that's -3 intelligence you got from being in this video so far. I'm sorry for making you guys dumber. Now, quote, obviously it's going to be pretty hard to bring context to this quote because George Carlin said some mean things when it comes to women. Oh, I'm so edgy. I'm a woman using anti-woman things. False. That quote wasn't even against women. If you put context to the quote, because it's a comedy, whatever, know what the fuck your videos are. I like to piss off any group this is George Carlin, and this is a quote. I like to piss off any group that takes itself a little bit too seriously. Come on, feminists. We can all agree you take it a little too serious sometimes. We're very fair here. There's a lot of feminists that they're like, okay, yeah, I want equal pay. That's good. And there's some that can be assholes. That's just how it is. There's plenty of, I say there's just as many, if not more, men that are just complete assholes. That's just how the world is. And it does not take a lot of imagination to piss off a feminist. All you gotta do is run into Now headquarters. I don't know what that is because this is from way back in the day. Or Miss Magazine, which I don't think that's a real thing, and say, hey, which one of you little cupcakes want to come home, cook me a nice meal, and give me and then the rest of the clip, because I don't want to say it. So obviously we dissect that joke using common sense, being able to understand other human beings and knowing how things work. This quote wasn't actually anti-feminist. This quote was just say how a lot of them take themselves seriously, and then you go to any feminist and say something like that, and that'll piss them off. He's talking about aggravating people. If anything, in this video, he's kind of being a troll in that clip. So to me, it's just real it's just this whole thing is so dumb. And I'm very mad at you, Greg, for fucking showing me this channel. We were going through these videos, and I swear to God, there was part of me was like, let's just make a channel called Mecha Random 43, and then just fact check all these dumbass videos that she does. She made a video about Star Wars Solo saying that it broke records, and she used an article that used the title Breaking Records, and then in the article itself, it didn't even mention any record, and then the only record it mentioned was that it beat second place, and she's trying to put her tinfoil fucking hat on that says that Disney's buying their own tickets. Nah. You got just this is what I feel the kind of people like her and a lot of the people that follow her are people that could benefit from the government putting just a little bit amount of Xanax in the water. Just a little bit of Xanax. Just calm down. A woman can express an opinion. I mean, it's ironic that she makes videos shitting on a woman that all she did was express an opinion when she makes 4 dumbass opinions a day. And you know what I mean? Like, this is pretty stupid. I mean, to me, it's so lazy. It's boring. I understand why you get mad. We're possibly debating we were going to make a video about the Watchmen, and then she made a video about the Watchmen that was so hilariously stupid and shitty that it broke it was a bigger bummer than the Watchmen show in her video, because she's such an idiot.
And the worst part about these videos is that she says she's a critic in some of these videos. She says that she does all this research and I'm a professional, basically in so little words, but you can see that she clearly doesn't want to she doesn't actually go watch these movies, these TV shows. She just takes the first topic and says, oh, look, the title says this. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to make a video about this.
She'll read the synopsis of it. She won't really look into the subject. You can tell. Like, I mean, we did do research on a lot of other things. To me, this is the only thing that annoyed me more than anything was the out of context clips, because this is a bigger problem of YouTube. This is like that guy that PewDiePie shouted out, that channel that was like doing weird, like, there was like a Death Note review they did, and there was like a bunch of like hidden images in it, and then they put like, it was very Nazi-ish, and then the guy, like, it's this kind of thing that happens around the internet and YouTube. But YouTube, once they finally figure out how to make Zuckerberg stop spreading lies on Facebook, maybe they'll start on YouTube, because on YouTube it's very difficult. These videos are promoted, she gets ad revenue, and all she does is just take everything out of context. A person that comes into something like this that isn't like me and Greg that have no lives, especially Greg because he's a robot. Do you hate her because she's also a robot? Because she's got, I didn't realize you guys are both robots. Look at that. You guys should get married. Now, basically, it's just this big thing that happens online that really pisses me off. I went on a podcast, Landy Lodge, shout out, look him up. I went on his podcast, I talked about this misinformation, just perpetual wheel of hatred that goes on online.
It just seems like if you say something enough, it becomes truth and fact.
Everybody hates Brie Larson online. Everyone hates Amy Schumer online. But they both done nice things. They both given money to charity. They both done good things for the world. All these people that hate on them, the only things they've really done is go on iFunny and have a trouble, like, iFunny, and you're like, should I try to be funny? Or should I just make fun of Brie Larson or Amy Schumer? I'll get more likes because everyone hates her. Or I could try to be genuinely funny. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go the easy way. That's what she does. She just goes the easy way. That's what, you know.
I mean, a good example is, for example, today I said I watched SNL, and he told me some facts about the rapper that was the host.
Chance the Rapper. He's the man.
Right. Now, there's a few things, more than a few things I didn't know about him. Like, I don't like rap in general. He knows that. Mm-hmm. But
confuses the circuitry.
He doesn't, I personally didn't, like I said, I didn't really think I thought his skits were funny, but it just seemed like they threw him in an inappropriate situation to make him funny. And then when he told me that, he did things nice for his community, you don't really know someone if you don't know the facts behind what they're doing.
Exactly. And that just...
So it opened up my eyes, but I don't know, for her, I don't think that would ever happen.
No, she's too stupid to open her eyes. So, and sorry, she's not stupid. Should be calling him
ignorant.
Stupid. She's lazy. And she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do the research or have any sort of respect. I mean, it is kind of, and like I said, it brings up to the stereotype that all women hate women. Women don't support women. And it's, I mean, you go online, you see things like this. There's so many people that don't like Brie Larson. And I see it on Facebook comments where all the smart people go. And I see it. I'm just like, these people just talk shit about her, and all they do is all they know is one quote about Brie Larson. They don't know anything else. They just know one quote where she said, and in a situation where we're not familiar with the situation, nobody watching this video, unless you're a famous Hollywood actor watching this video, you can't really relate to what I'm going to say next. And that's the press tour. We're not there for the press tour. So she was on a press tour, and she was in a room for like 15 hours. And it was probably just nonstop big older white guys. And then she's just like, oh, well, I mean, I wish there was more women here. And everyone's like, oh, she's anti-man. I'm like, we don't know what she saw. We don't know who was in there. We don't know.
And chances
like,
are,
it's so crazy.
If you look at Variety and it's a lot of those magazines, they purposely ask the strangest questions just to get a reaction out of the actors to make a story.
It's happened so many. It's so there's more evidence. Like, she makes claims like how, like the quartering, they make unfounded claims that you can't prove that are real or fake, which is their sweet spot. You want to find that gray area so that way nobody can say, no, you're wrong. It's all about your faith-based politics. If you believe that Disney, well, I mean, we're in the middle. We both know that Disney is a money-hungry fucking revenue machine, but I also don't think that they cheat. They don't need to cheat to get money. You know, the only times I mean, why would they fake ticket sales for Captain Marvel and for Solo, and then not do that for BFG? Flopped. There's Peach Dragon flopped. Why wouldn't they lie about Disney movies that they could lie about that nobody was looking at, but then lie with big movies? To me, that doesn't make sense.
And the funny thing is, it wasn't like Disney came out and said this. These were the ticket box office sellers that sell. They're not. Disney's not saying, oh, you gotta go. We'll give you $50 million if you say this.
It's like Rotten Tomatoes. They're like, oh, we see the bias towards Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes just be mad at the reviewer. Don't be mad at Rotten Tomatoes. They don't review things. A Rotten Tomatoes score is not a review. It's not Rotten Tomatoes reviewing that fucking movie, you fucking morons. They just collect the people's they just collect it. And also, just so you know, when we were doing reviews, in case you didn't know this, when we were doing video game reviews and movie reviews early on the channel, I tried to see if I could even get onto Rotten Tomatoes. I can easily get onto the audience one, but to the critic one, you actually have to have like 50 or some thousand hours time and a degree to be even allowed. And you also have to have a job and a journalist. You have to have like everything specifically. It's not like these critics like can just go and do something like that. It does take something, and I know saying that a journalism degree doesn't mean anything, because I know most of you guys are like, oh, games journalists, boo-hoo, even though they serve a great importance into this fucking thing, this whole world. I know it's easy to hate on journalists. I know that's what everyone's been doing for the past 4 years, because of a certain somebody, but at the same time, not everyone's lying, and people are having less faith in like journalists and more faith in like these idiots like Mecca and quartering. And it's just, I mean, it's a correlation. I saw a comedian once said, I think his name is Joe Mandy. This is a Netflix special. During the 90s or early 2000s, there was a show called Next. And it was like a dating show where they would be
yes, I know you're talking about, yeah.
Hosted by Chris Hardwick, I believe. And then he said, I don't think the world he thinks that the world has peaked ever since that show, because you can't show him any evidence that the world has gotten any better since that show aired. And honestly, the same. I have to agree with him, because people have just gotten more ignorant and arrogant and stupid, and YouTube definitely plays a part in it, because YouTube is just very happy to, like, this girl, because she knows what the fuck she's doing, because she knows she can get attention by using PewDiePie quotes, by saying that the quartering is right about everything, which she's not either, and taking quotes like these, quotes of two great people, George Carlin and Brie Larson, are both up there as human beings, just to create some kind of false narrative. I don't even know if I can call it a narrative. This is like one of those meme videos that you see online that's like 3 minutes long, and it's just nonsense. It's just people putting in every single meme into a 3-minute video that gets 1 million fucking views, because people are just so fucking dumb now.
And the worst part,
that's what it is. It's just a thing to make you try to hate them, and that's why people hate things. And like I said earlier, you could cuck your own business if you were to just shut up about Brie Larson, but that if you keep talking about Brie Larson, she stays in the nebulos. Even though it looks like your views have been going down the more you talk about her, and now you're focusing mostly on Star Wars, but like it's just lame. Like, get a life. And then here's another example: quartering. One time he tweeted out, because I follow everyone that I don't like, because that's how you do it. And He tweeted out, "What do you guys want my videos to be?" And this is a while back, obviously, because someone tweeted out E3 predictions. What did he do that day? He made a bunch of anti-social justice warrior bullcrap videos. So there's even people, you built a fan base of people that believe in the same bullshit you believe in. And now you could pivot your audience and be a good games journalist, in your mind. But no, it's easier just to shit on people. And that's your choice, and that's lame to me. Now you finish up what you're going to say?
Now, to me, it seems like her viewers are the people that go on YouTube, never been on it before, or they're very new to it, and they search for the very first opinion on anything, and it's like, oh, this person's a god, this person's right. I'm not gonna do any other research. This is all I'm gonna do. And it seems like she preys on that base.
They don't know better. They don't know that she's full of shit, an idiot. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Mecca. Listen, if you somehow watch this, you don't have as many subscribers as the quartering, so maybe you'd pay attention to this tiny little channel. We definitely don't hate you, because we shouldn't hate anybody we don't really know. But based on your content, I just really don't like you. Like, I'm sorry. And just put a little bit of time into your editing. Maybe, I don't know what kind of camera you're using, but maybe hit focus on it. Or clean it. I don't know what it is. And you don't have to put 3 videos out a day. Make videos that have actual substance. Read the articles before you talk about the articles. You could read an entire article and then talk about it. You don't have to look at the title and then just talk about it. Because it's just, And also, don't fuck with stand-up comedians and using them to insult people. That's not what stand-up comedy is about. Fuck that shit. Idiot. Fucking, Anyway, have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. I should probably say that. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you like what we're doing here, we have some gameplay videos, some streams that we're doing here and there. Let us know down below. If you want to do fat jokes and whatnot, I am wearing a rainbow shirt thing from Funhouse, so you can talk about that I'm a social justice warrior, I guess. That's what you guys are going to say. I like to guess the shit talking. My hair looks greasy, but that's mostly the lighting because I have really beautiful black hair. Greg is really a robot, and thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Say goodbye.